I went to Hofstra University and I graduated. I have a 4-year degree in accounting. I worked in the city. I worked for the NFL. I worked for EMI Capital Records. I worked for Nissan. I worked. What else? Smith Barney. I worked for a week. They thought I was gay, and I had a whole big deal of fights and stuff there. It was crazy. A lot of the other places too, they did the same thing. I worked for Local 79, Local 78 in the city. Mason Tenders. I was a payroll auditor. I changed that whole system. When I left, they're still doing things the way I set it up when I left. And the bosses were pissed off at me. Oh my God. Because I made the system better. And they don't like better. You know, the union called all my bosses. The union was the client. And the union called all my bosses into a meeting without me there. I was told about this meeting, and it was all about me. And they're like, we want all that work, all the work you give us. In 6 months' time, they gave them, well, again, 6 months to get up to Jay's standard. If you're not up to his standard, we're looking for somebody else. You know, I screwed them, you know. I put them in a spot, and they didn't like that, you know. But, I don't know. Some people got fired from it. Not me. I walked out. I left that job. I never quit. I never got fired. I just never went back. And, you know, I was done. After I made the changes, I was like, that's why I went there, to make changes. I didn't go there to work and count hours. I wasn't doing that. And they called me up like 2 months after I had left. And they're like, are you coming back? I'm like, I thought about it for a minute. It was dead silence on the phone. I'm like, nah, I don't really think so. They're like, well, if you ever want to come back, just call us and you can come back anytime you want, you know. And well, I thank you for the offer, but I don't think so. You know? And I went to school for accounting, and this is an accounting firm, and I'm saying I'm not coming back. You know, that's like a mechanic saying, I'm working for Ford, you know. They're like, nah, I think I'm going to go spend my time at the pool. I'm not fixing your damn cars. Yeah, that's what I did. So, yeah, I was like, nah, this ain't for me. Yeah, it's just, I worked on the 13th floor and 43rd, on 43rd Street and 3rd Avenue. And, you know, most buildings don't have a 13th floor. You know, they skip they just make 13, 14, and like they're fooling somebody. You know, like God's gonna save them because it's 14 on the elevator button. I don't know what the logic is, but I think it's pretty stupid. But anyway, the window